everybody. Rob here in Bakersfield on the 2013 Sportster 72. And welcome to this week's Throwback Thursday. This week's story is going to be the 415 domestic call, woman armed with a butcher knife. Now, I was working the day watch out of Central Division, and I got a radio call to respond to a 415 domestic disturbance. And I'm advised that I got a black female outside the apartment trying to kick in the front door, armed with a large butcher knife, and that I have no backup available. So I arrive on scene, and sure enough, right up there on the second story landing of the apartment complex is this skinny little black female with a great big large butcher knife. She's banging on the apartment door, kicking it, screaming and yelling. And what I find out later on to be her boyfriend, who has locked himself inside and locked her out. She's screaming and yelling, saying she's going to kill him and all this other kind of stuff. Well, I step out of my patrol car, and I got a large group of her neighbors standing down below, looking at me, watching her, waiting to see what's going to happen. So I kept my distance because, you know, she wasn't going to kick in that front door, and I was hoping he was smart enough not to open it. And I yelled up at her to drop the knife and come down to me. Well, she yells at me something about she's going to kill that cheating son of a bitch, blah, blah, blah. I yell back to her again, you need to drop the knife and come down here to me. Well, she's all pissed off, and she stands there for a minute. She's looking at me, and she's looking at the knife. She looks at me. So she takes and throws the knife down on the ground on the second floor porch area there, landing to their apartment. Comes storming down the stairs, all pissed off. So she gets over to me, and I let her, you know, vent. I let her, you know, tell me how her cheating boyfriend, she caught her cheating boyfriend, you know, she'd come home, her boyfriend had another girl in the house, and he was, you know, doing the thing with her, and they had a big old fight, and the girl had ran out, and she went after the girl with the butcher knife, and while she did that, he had locked her out of the apartment. Well, she come back and she was pissed at him, wanted to get him, you know. Well, after letting her vent and letting her get calmed down, I told her, well, okay, well, I'm going to have you sit in the back of the patrol car. I'll go up and have a talk with him, get this all straightened out. You know, you're not under arrest, but you're going to have to sit in the back of the patrol car for my safety and your safety, because I don't want you coming back up there and grabbing that knife and confronting him. Well, so she got in the back seat of the patrol car. I went up and picked up the knife, of course, and stuck it over behind a planter because I didn't want to have it in my hand. I didn't know what he was going to be coming out the door with. And I knocked on the door, step to the side so I'm not standing in front of the door, and, you know, called out to him, told him, you know, that I was the police. He needed to open the door and talk to me. Well, he opens the door, you know, after first saying, well, was she out there? And I told him, no, she's in the back of the seat of the patrol car. Well, he cracks the door open, peeks out, sees me. You know, we get to talking, and I asked him, okay, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to press any charges against her? Because, you know, we've got her displaying a weapon, which I could arrest her for. Got her threatening, which I could arrest her for. Because even though those are all misdemeanors, they're all done in my presence. Well, he don't want to have her arrested. He don't want to press no charges, no like that. He just wants 5 minutes to get his shit together and get the hell out of the apartment. So I told him, okay, I'm gonna delay her long enough that you can get out and don't come back. And he said, okay, that was fine with him. So I go back down to the patrol car, and I'm talking to her, and I'm telling her, okay, well, he's going to leave. And he's not coming back. which is all fine and dandy with her. She don't want that lying, cheating scumbag back anymore. And then I explained to her that although she could be arrested for displaying a weapon in public and for making threats of wanting to kill him and everything, that I could, in my presence, that I could arrest her for that, but that I was not going to, because he didn't want to press charges. But that I was going to write up what we called an Officer's 153 report, which was just a report to cover our butts in case something came back later on. Like say he come back to the apartment later on and she did stab and kill him. I'd have everything documented from the first call. So he got left, you know, finally left, got out of there. I let her out. And of course the kitchen knife, the butcher knife, that was part of her little kitchen set. So I wasn't going to take it as evidence, because I wasn't writing up a crime report and I wasn't arresting her. I told her it was up there behind the planter. She could go get it and go back into her apartment. And I sat there and waited and watched her go up the stairs, go get the knife and go into her apartment, shut the door, everything was done, and I left. Now, some people are saying, be thinking, okay, well, she committed a crime, you're supposed to enforce the law, why didn't you arrest her? Well, it's very simple. Back in those days, police officers were considered to be smart enough to use street judgment to decide whether or not a person needed to be arrested and charged with a crime. So yeah, she did commit 2 stupid little misdemeanors, but it was all because of heat of the moment. You know, domestic disturbance misunderstanding. And I saw no reason to arrest her, stick her into the system, cost her a whole bunch of money for bail and lawyer's fees, and give her a criminal record on top of all the crap she was going through with her boyfriend. Now, if she'd have actually got through the door and cut him or stabbed him or something, well, of course I would have arrested her then. That's the difference of being a police officer today and being a police officer back then. Back then, the department had enough security in our training and our thought processes to give us that leeway out there on the streets to decide who did or did not need to be arrested. And we did that every day, all the time. So there were lots of people I could have arrested that I didn't, because I gave them a break, just like lots of other officers did. Now today, with all the lawsuits and crap, departments and cities have gotten a lot stricter and taken away that discretion from the police officers, and pretty much made it mandatory that no matter what the crime is, you got to arrest them. You can't give them a break and let them go. So, I guess the whole point of this story is that, in my opinion, things were a lot better back then when police officers had the discretion to arrest or not arrest than today, when departments and cities and states have changed the laws and pretty much made it where whenever you go out on a call, somebody's got to get arrested. So instead of bitching at the officer because he's arrested somebody for some minor little crime, just remember, it's the citizens that got all that crap changed, all those laws changed, because of their bitching and complaining. So you got nobody to blame but yourself. And that's my story for this week. It wasn't really a dangerous thing, but it kind of goes along with the theme of what's going on today in the news, of officers having to confront angry, armed people and arresting them, and then all their neighbors and citizens around bitch and gripe and complain that the cops didn't give them a break and just arrested them. So, there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button if you did. Make some comments. And subscribe to come back for more later. See y'all. Bye-bye.